What's going on, my dudes? This is Mr. Gardner and this is Math Time with Mr. G. Today we're going to be talking about compound inequalities, saying we're willing to have limits when we're going shopping. So let's say we're going to go get a car. I don't want an old piece of junk, but I can't afford a Tesla. What's something in between that I could purchase? Just a quick review. If I have x is equal to -3, I put -3 below, a number above, a number below. This or equal to means a closed dot, and any number less than -3 is good. So I'm going to shade this way. And there's my arrow to help me remind it. Over here, I have x is greater than 2. So I put 2 as my number in question, number above, number below. There is no or equal to, so it means it can get close to 2, but can never be 2. And it says any number bigger than 2. But let's say we wanted to compound these together and put them in the same filter, in the same search bar while we're shopping for that new used car. So I'm just going to put both of the numbers in question on the number line. And then I'm just going to put that same closed dot in shade below, the same open dot in shade above. If they go in different directions, this is referred to as an OR statement. So x can be less than -3, or x can be greater than 2. It can be either of these, but it can't be anything in between. So if there's a gap, we say OR. Look at -1, a number above it, a number below it. It's going to be an open dot, and it says any number bigger than it. And then again, I have my number in question, number above it, number below it. It's going to be a closed dot because it's or equal to. And then I am going to shade all the numbers below it. So now that I want to combine these two together, I put my two numbers in question. And it's still going to be an open dot and still going to be a closed. But this one said shade to the left and this one shade to the right. And they're going to meet in the middle. So from -1, I'm going to keep going until I hit 3. And 3, I'm going to keep going until I hit 0. So this is going to be my price range. So this is going to be like our junk car. And this is going to be our Tesla. And this is what I'm willing to spend, is everything in between. When they connect in between, we refer to this as an AND statement. And how we write AND statements is we write our low end and our high end and x in between. And then we just make sure our symbols match. So x can be less than or equal to 3, but x has to be greater than -1. So just make sure that we match our symbols correctly. So right here I flopped it, but right here I kept it the same. And I have 0, 1, -1 is an open dot shading down. This is a closed dot shading down. So I'm going to put them on the same number line. And then this said open dot 0 going down, and this said closed dot going down. Well, they didn't meet in the middle. They both went to the left. When they both go to the left, the one that's furthest right wins, and you're going to cover up the other one. And the same thing if I were to go in the other direction. If I were to have a number line and they both went to the right, I would just cover up the second one and just make them go over each other. So the way I would write this is because they overlap, they don't meet in the middle. Whatever one was more dominant is going to be my answer. Where they don't give us x and we have to solve for it. So all I'm going to do is add my 7 and divide by -5, remembering that when we divide by a negative, my sign flips. And I'm going to do the same thing to this problem. I'm going to subtract 3, and then dividing by a negative, my sign flips. Now that I have my numbers in question, I'm just going to put them on the number line. So I have -4, -2, and this one says any number that is bigger than -4, so it's open dot and bigger, and then this says open dot and smaller, and they meet in the middle. So this would be an AND statement. So I'm going to write -4 and -2 with x in the middle. To again subtract 9 and then divide by 7. But because it's positive, I don't have to flip the sign. I'm going to do the same thing to this other side. One of the most important things I did here was I flipped my x and my -3, so I had variable, inequality, number, so that I still have my arrow pointing in the right direction. This kind of gets me confused, so I always do letter, then number. So then my numbers are -3, 1, this is a closed dot, this is an open dot, this one says anything less than 1, this says anything bigger than -3. So again, I have an and it's going to read -3 x1 with our symbols facing the correct way. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comment section, but other than that, be kind to each other, ask lots of questions, and think deeply.